Hello, welcome to Making Mexico Home Showcase Edition. Today we are in Tulum. We're looking at a property that sits on about 30,000 square feet, so it's a very big lot. I'm with Amin Farugi. I'm with Amin Farugi, and he is with a property management company. So do you want to talk a little bit about your property management company?
Absolutely. With Farugi Group, we do property management in Canada and Mexico. We are currently in Tulum. We have started about a year ago in Tulum, and we've been working with a variety of different kind of properties, from villas to apartments.
Yeah, and you guys specialize though more in higher end villas like this one. This would be more similar to what you guys manage than others, or no?
I would say most of our properties are houses or penthouses that are above 3 bedrooms.
Okay. Yeah. And then before we get started, can you tell me a little bit about the property?
So this property is about 2,500 meter and about 600 meter for the construction for the building.
Okay.
The price is about 3.3 million USD, and yeah, we're expecting to, I think this house should be generating about ideally 25,000 USD per month.
Okay, so let's go take a look, if you can show me around.
Absolutely. So we have 4 bedrooms this way. Okay. This is a very unique property because there's a cenote and there's a treehouse, and the common areas are actually on the left side there.
Okay.
The kitchen and the living room, and we have the 4 bedrooms here that they are each are like a massive bedroom, have their own.
Are these all standalone bedrooms? Can we go in one? Do they connect? Do they connect to a bigger house, or are they almost like an Airbnb?
Well, they are, I guess, built in a way that they could be rented out individually, and the entire house could be rented out as well.
Okay.
But they were built in a way that they could be rented out individually.
Okay. All right, so let's take a look. We have big ceilings, tall ceilings, 2 queen-size beds, it looks like. So it's a big bedroom, it's a big space, and you have AC, which you have to have AC in Mexico. We just went to Mexico City, and it was so hot we had no AC.
Yes. Without them, AC is impossible.
So your bathroom is kind of outside. This is really,
yes.
This is typical Tulum. I mean, this is like a Tulum total feel. So you have the screens to protect you from the insects and everything, and keep the leaves out.
Yes, it gives a natural light, and
yeah, even a soaking tub for the women. Very nice. So this is the one, and then I'm assuming all the other bedrooms are similar to this, or are they?
They're exactly built the same way. So each room can accommodate 4 persons. So in total, we can have about 16.
So this is almost like a little boutique hotel in a way. I mean,
yes,
you've got. We'll have to look at the other 3, but. So we'll go in let's go in the end one and see if there's any difference, or if they're all exactly the same. And then before we get there, we do have a little cenote here. So if you owned this property, you have some dead trees here. Are you allowed to remove those trees?
You could do it probably under the special circumstances when it's completely dead. Yeah. But the whole ecosystem, I guess they try to keep it as it is.
Right. So you wouldn't be able to you wouldn't be able to like dig it down further and make it deeper then, right?
You should be able to maybe dig it down further.
Yeah.
But in terms of like removing things or
right,
touching the ecosystem.
You'd want to keep it as nature. But I'm just saying, it'd be nice to have maybe a little bit more water in there and water flow. It's a beautiful, beautiful cenote.
That will ensure that you have water throughout the year for like, it will keep the trees and some of the greeneries alive.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
So this last one is the only one that is a little bit different than the other ones.
So this last one is more of a, oh, okay.
It's basically the main master bedroom.
It's like that, yeah. So you have nice storage area here, nice closets. The bathroom is very similar, it looks like. Yes. Bathroom is very similar. Okay, so 4 of these that are almost mirror image of each other that could rent together or they could rent separately. As a management company, would you try to rent them together or separately, you think?
Well, ideally, in terms of operation, if we can rent out the entire space, is going to be more efficient.
Yeah.
But probably you can make more money during high season if you try to rent them out individually because there's more demand.
Right.
You can even couple up like maybe the 2 bedrooms together, and it really depends on how you can advertise this online. You can have multiple listings for just one property.
Right.
Like you can list them individually
or as a group.
Yeah, as a group, and you can couple a few of them together and list them as well that way.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that maximizes your basically earnings from the property. And you know, like if our goal is to maximize basically the return on the investment.
Right.
So this way, if we can show a higher cap rate for a property, then we can essentially increase the value of the property itself.
Exactly. Okay. So you'd like to see, I mean, ideally, if this was doing 2,500 or 25,000 a month, that would be a pretty good average.
Yeah. At 25,000, I think that's sitting about 10% cap rate, which is great compared to 4% of the US or Canada.
Right.
But typically they expect to have a little bit more of the return in Tulum.
Okay.
Maybe 6 or 7 is the average.
Yeah.
If you're doing 10, you're doing really good. So I would say ideally if you can do like 25,000 for this house, that would be the ideal number.
But then you got to pay management fees on top of that, so you're going to be.
I would say the management.
You're going to bump from 300,000 down to what?
To about 240, 250,000.
Yeah.
Excluding the management fee.
Right.
And the like we come in and we try to take care of everything, so it'll be a lot less headache for the owners.
Right.
Especially if they're not living here.
Okay.
So we take care of the maintenance. We take care of if something breaks. You know, like just keeping the house in good shape is very important, both for generating income as well as reselling the property.
So we've got the jacuzzi tub here, nice big jacuzzi tub. Looks like it's got a pump to recirculate here.
Absolutely, yes.
And then nice little patio. We got some propane tank over there. So this house looks like propane is probably for the kitchen stove.
Yes. So
for cooking, and then it's got solar panels throughout, right?
Yes, it's completely off-grid, and we have solar panels on that roof over there, and the batteries are in the storage in the corner there, and so the propane is for the gas and basically cooking, and then there's diesel for the generator if they have to turn on the generator in case like when they don't get enough sun or at nights.
Yeah, this is one of the best places in the world for solar. Solar in this place makes sense. All right, an infinity pool here, which is really amazing. Can you show the piscina? So that infinity pool overlooks the cenote, and it's very nice. It's a very big pool as well. You could do laps in that. It's like it's as big as the pool at Costa. So is this what they're calling the treehouse?
Do you see that one right there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
so that's the treehouse.
Yeah, overlooking the cenote. I guess it's a good Zen area to be in, or maybe do some yoga.
How do you get in it? You think?
There's a ladder on the left.
Yeah.
So you can climb up and then go to that.
Okay. Do you want to go in it? Sure. It is a tree house. It is in the tree. All right. So this is pretty cool. So you can do yoga or whatever in here. So this overlooks the cenote. It's a very pretty, peaceful area for sure. Okay. Let's go check out the other part of the house.
Sure.
Yeah, I like the outdoor space a lot.
The owner, I mean the person who built this, who's the owner, paid a lot of attention to details. Like almost every part of this house is kind of like custom made.
Yeah.
So
now, is there a kitchen at all, or is it all bedrooms? Okay, there's a kitchen.
That's basically the common area for all the rooms, and So there's.
So this is the common area here?
Yes.
So you can do all your cooking here, or you can bring a chef in. Do you guys work with a lot of chefs?
Yes, we do have concierge services. We offer private chefs for the villas. We have people that they can stay during the whole time in the villa and kind of like the maid services and offer maid services and housekeeping as well.
So they'll be like housekeeping all day, kind of to keep things clean.
Absolutely.
Wow. So here's a nice big laundry room, washroom here. So this is very nice. I think people would enjoy a big room like this.
There's a pantry / laundry and everything,
Yeah, it works nice. It's a good layout.
That's it.
And then beyond there, I'm assuming is the outside. So I think I hear them talking out there. So I think that's the outside. And so anybody that stays here, they just have, this is the common area for everybody then?
Yes.
Okay, so you got a nice big kitchen area, nice dining table, little lounge area, TV, and I'm assuming that's a bathroom there, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is edition 1 of Showcase, part of Making Mexico Home. Very interested to hear your feedback. What do you guys think? If you have questions on the property management side or purchasing the house, I'll contact you or I'll connect you with Amin. Other than that, stay tuned and we'll see what episode 2 brings.
All right. Amazing.
All right, thank you.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay, I am with Luis Flores. We had the opportunity to bring him in for a little bit of discussion about the property. Luis is a real estate broker here in the area.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the area?
I've been here almost 6 years.
Okay.
Doing brokerage and doing something with sports, with tennis.
Yeah.
So keeping me entertained.
Yeah, sounds good. So you've lived in Tulum the entire 6 years?
Yeah.
And how much has it grown just since you've been here?
No, it's been crazy. It's just being change after change, like the markets change and different people change, but I think the attitude and the vibe of Tulum, it's still a little magical.
It's definitely, as soon as you get into Tulum, you just feel this peace.
There's something about it, yeah.
People say there's a different frequency here. I don't know what's going on. I know from my standpoint, I was drawn to the Riviera Maya area. I live in Playa, but the whole area I think is kind of magical. But
exactly, the whole area.
But especially Tulum.
I agree.
So what additional can you tell me about this particular property? Because we walked through it.
I mean, as you can see, it's a big property. It's on 2,500 square meter. I'm sure you guys saw the cenote. You saw the L shape of the house.
Yeah.
My opinion is that the value of it is exactly in the long term. With the qualities of the work that they did with the architecture and the finishes. I think it's a little bit different than maybe other products that are offered here in Tulum. I think this one it's top in my list.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of personality too. With that is gonna be kept this way for years and years, it doesn't matter what happens in the Tulum market.
Yeah.
This is gonna be like its own little house villa oasis.
Now, this lot is huge. I think 2,500 square meters. I don't even know. I think that's like 30,000 square feet, something like that.
Okay.
So it's a very big lot. How common are lots this size in Tulum? Are there a lot of lots this size?
She probably bought 2 or 3 lots, and then she made the project out of it. That's a possibility here in Tulum. Normally they would sell like 500, 600 square meter, maybe 1,000.
Yeah.
But she bought 2 lots because like in Tulum they sell hectares, and then they subdivide them in 2,500. So.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And then what can you tell me about like the utilities here, like electricity, internet, anything like that?
Yeah, well, the house was designed off-grid. She wanted to live in the property, so she has like the solar panels. It's fully equipped, like she has the high-speed internet. In my opinion, the height of the ceilings, it could help you with the humidity, it could help you with the heat. So I think that's a really good pointer to have also. You know, I think it has like 14 solar panels. It has a residual system that everything that it's used in the bathrooms and stuff, it's recycled here, and then they reuse the water for it. They have water softeners, and they have a diesel machine at night. You know, so it's fully equipped. The house, it's completely off grid, and I think that adds a little bit of value with. I like being off grid. You know, I'm not able to live like that, but maybe in the future it would be something fun. You know,
it's always nice to know if something happened. You know,
you're covered.
You're covered, yeah. So the solar here is big. Diesel might be a little hard to make, but you can make diesel from regular cooking oil. So, you know, maybe you could still get a hold of make your own diesel, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very nice, very peaceful property.
Yeah.
Okay. Is anything else you want to add, or?
No, I think we're good. I think you guys covered the whole thing. It's like about 10 minutes from the beach. I don't know if you guys were talking about that. So it's in Region 8. Right now, there's developments under construction if you get here to the property, but it's 10 minutes away from the Tulum beach. So I think it's a great location to be exploring. A lot of investors are looking into this area too.
Yeah. Now, do you know if the land around here is available for development as well?
Yeah. There's plots of land, literally like all over the place. You just have to know where to look for. You know, prices range. If you're closer to the Kukulkan, to the main avenue that takes you to the beach, they're going to be a little bit more expensive than if you're a little bit more in depth in Region 15 or Region 8. Interesting.
It'd be interesting to cover, you know, that in a segment to see, you know, what properties are available. And you know, what are the prices on just the lots?
Of course.
What a great investment! I think just buying a land here. You know, in 20 years, it's going to be worth, you know, probably 20 times.
It's already done the doubles, but if it keeps its magic, you know, the thing that we like about Riviera Maya, I think it could be a long-term.
Well, Riviera Maya is still, I don't know how much under, but it's quite it's expensive here. But it's quite a bit under like Los Cabos, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing houses in Los Cabos, like they're average, you know, a lot of them are $10-15 million. It would probably be like $3 or $4 million here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting because I want to go out to Los Cabos and shoot and see exactly what that difference is. So this area definitely has room to get in parity with Los Cabos pricing. I also think the Riviera Maya has the potential, the near-term potential within 10 years to have parity with Florida and California pricing.
Yeah, I agree with I believe the infrastructure in Tulum, it's not quite there yet. You know, when you drive here, like the roads, the electricity, but when it catches up to par, I think it could have even a little bit better potential, you know, for people to enjoy coming here, you know, like the clean streets and people where to walk, you know, because it's beautiful to walk here. It can get a little bit hot in the summer like we are now, but it's beautiful outside, seeing the jungle and everything, all the beauty.
Yeah, and the shade is nice, so it is hot. I'm not gonna lie, it's hotter than hell here, especially in the sun. We're in the shade, it's not so bad. It feels like it's maybe 80s, but it's probably 90s in temperature. I think it's about 38 Celsius today.
Yeah, like we're probably like 30, 31, 32. It's still really hot.
Yeah, I heard Merida ran 47 Celsius.
Yeah, Merida gets up there.
Yeah, I got to go to Merida. I'm like, oh man, I hope it's not that hot.
Right now it's hot, but you'll find good places to go. Good. It's beautiful there too.
All right, Luis, it's been a pleasure.
Pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you. And that's the round.
This property, again, it's very expansive. It sits on a very large lot. It's also 4-bedroom, but again, each bedroom is like a suite on its own. So it's a whole different category from the properties that we've seen. Yeah.
This one, I would guess, and it's based on what I've seen, so it's not a guess really. It was more of an extrapolation, but this would be somewhere, I would think, in rents, probably between $300,000 and $350,000 a year.
You got it.
Would be, yeah.
Exactly. you can throw events in here. You can sort of have some sort of parties. I'm not saying weddings, but it has so much room that you can accommodate large gatherings. Which ups the revenue by 2 to 3 times. So yes,
Right.
350,000, I think, or 300 to 400 range would be with
Yeah.
proper management, with if with proper event planning, you can get it definitely there. But right now,
Yeah.
for the lucky long-term renter, I think someone is renting it at 135,000 pesos, or
Yeah.
I just did this before this. Here you go, $7,351 USD.
Yeah. And
So yeah.
are they arbitraging it, or do you think they're actually living there?
Um, right now, because it's not online, I don't really know. My assumption is
Okay.
that they are living at the moment there,
Yeah, that makes
or
sense.
we would see some sort of trace online, right?
Yeah. Otherwise, that would have been like a perfect property though to arbitrage, because you're talking 7,300 a month, and you're going to average at least 25,000 in revenue a month. They don't. They
Correct.
don't get much.
Correct.
They don't get much better than that for arbitrage. You're going to make money in the summer and the
Absolutely
winter.
not. Yes.
So,
So I might be in contact with the person who rented it. I think we traced them down. We'll be in
yeah.
contact and see what they want to do with this. But just
Yeah.
for our viewers here, we're looking at, I think, the sales price of $3.2 million for this property. You just
Right.
already see the contrast in prices, in quality compared to the other two villas that we saw.
Yeah, and it's a really big lot. I think it's over 1,000 square meters. So it's most lots, and you see like the previous lots we were looking at were probably in the neighborhood of 300 to 400 square meters. Although the one that has the higher rents was on a double lot, so I think it was sitting on 600 square meters. But this one's 5,000 square meters.
I
Yeah,
think
this
so
one's
too. I think
5,000.
this one is sitting on 5,000 square meter, which is like uh, I would say 4 or 5 times more than that actually, 6 times
Yeah,
at least bigger than the other properties.
right.
So yeah,
And
if you're
it has a cenote. So
and it has a cenotes on side. Yes, like I'm just thinking about the marketing and how we can put it on all these rental platforms.
right.
It's definitely it's a good arbitrage choice.
Okay. Yeah, I would say, and I try to coach people a little bit, like before they buy a property, to bring somebody in like you, just to do an analysis to say, okay, hey, I'm thinking about buying this house. It's going to cost me 500,000 or $1 million. What's reasonable? So on this one, you and I are both saying reasonable is 300 to 400,000. Asking price was what, 2.8 or 3.2, I think. So it kind of gives you a
3.2, yes.
ballpark on where your room is. You may come in with a lower offer because you don't have the ROI that you expect. But the last thing I want to see people do is buy a property for investment and not have somebody like you running some numbers for them, especially on properties that have not been in Airbnb for a while, and you're having to kind of
Exactly.
guess or interpret what you think. Yeah.
The market here
So
is quiet. The end of the spectrums are very far apart. So you got to be very careful about the product that you purchase.
right.
Um, Also, there's another model here that people do. Then they operate these listings, and the 10% capitalization rate here is considered a good one. So usually, if a
Right.
property is making in 70K net, then they usually multiply by 10 and then put a sales price of $700,000 on these. So
So they're basing
this
it on 70K net would generate about a $700,000 asking price, because I'm seeing 6 to 8 on a lot of houses and that's gross. That's not net.
and yeah, that is an example of two things. Again, sometimes the location comes in very handy, and the quality of the build
Right.
here. Some people think
Right.
that and the furnishing, you need to be competitive. So yes,
Right.
but if you want the average market here, a 10% cap rate is what the
Yeah.
going rate is at the moment, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like we're expecting this $3.2 million property to generate 320 something like that net revenue for us.